Okay, well, welcome back, you guys. And we're going to continue the drawing now. The last stage, we did our tone masses, right? And if you remember, I did one section of it, and then I just let you guys know how to do the rest of it and to continue around the drawing. And that's what I did in here. I just continued to put those flatter shapes in there. I left a little reflected light there, and I just hatched in what I did here. I just put in a real light hatching value just to separate the light from the shadow. Okay, just to separate things. I want somewhat of a contrast. I don't want just the edge of the head here to not have any contrast. So I just put a little value in there. You can do that with yours. All you gotta do is hatch it in like that. Real simple, real easy. You can hatch this way. You can hatch this way. Sometimes I'll do this where an edge is a little bit softer. I'll hatch like that. Let me do it down here. Right, you see I put in a little value there. Hatch across. And I just try to have fun with it. Gives it a little variety, you know, as you're drawing. And then the next step that we're gonna do is we are going to, now remember I'm taking you guys through this slow, okay? It's not a real fast process, but what we're going to do is we're going to establish the complexion of the light. Okay, so we need to think about the light source is obviously coming from this direction, right? And the highest point is going to be pretty much in this area here. So remember, we have to impart our knowledge into what we're observing. Okay, so it's knowledge combined with observation, right? That's what we want to do. And what we're shooting for is got a little abbreviated value scale here that you guys can see, right? So turn it like that. So you got the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So what we want to shoot for is the 3 right here for that average, right? If it was painting, it'd be an average flesh tone. But because we're drawing, it's just going to be some graphite. And sometimes I'll take a little bit harder pencil. You know, I have the Bic there, but maybe I'll grab, you know, I might grab like a 2H or something like that. Which you could use the Bic, that's fine. And we'll just take it, and I'm gonna hatch right over what I have here, right over top of it. And remember, I'm trying to get in the range. Just hatch right over it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, whenever we're drawing, you got to give yourself a break sometimes, right? So that one's a little bit hard. I may switch back to the Bic here. And I'm basically just putting down a glaze, right? A real light glaze. Now, one thing you can do is you could use your finger, right? I like to use, this is just a bristle brush. Oh, by the way, here's the pencil I'm using, the Bic pencil. They're just the cheap ones you get from the store. And this is just a bristle brush here, Simply Simmons Bright. So you could take something like this, and you can just slowly glaze that layer of graphite right over the top. Nice and easy. So I'm just going to go over pretty much what I have there. Keeping in mind as you do this, it's going to be lighter up here, so we'll try to maintain that best we can as we transition up there. But even if you get it a little too dark, that's okay. We can always move things around. And I'm just going to brush right across the top of it. And this is just kind of setting me up, right? This part of the drawing is setting you up for the rendering. And just go right over top of what you have. Keep in mind some of the edges, like this in here. I'm going to make this a little bit softer, right? This fleshy area right here. And then right in here, we got bone. So the zygomatic bone is going to be in that area. So I may make it a little bit sharper. And remember, we talked about in the tip of the day, you have your sharp and soft edges, right? Keeping those in mind. Areas of high contrast. So I just try to think of the head as an egg at this point. Just an egg. You can do that. You can hatch, like I said, hatch like this. Because what we're gonna do is we're going to sculpt after we do this part, which is a lot of fun, right? We're gonna sculpt. We can come down here. We can hatch some of this. Now, I have a limited time to show you guys this stuff, so I'm trying to boil it down, and these videos can only be so long, otherwise they won't post. Let's keep that edge there soft, and then same with up here. And then what we have is a transition into the light. So I'm just keeping it soft. I like to keep pretty much everything soft at this point. Keeping in mind just hatching. Like I said, you can do it. There's a lot, you know, you can hatch it like this. You can use the brush, you can use your finger, you can use a paper towel, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're transitioning into the light, right? That's our goal. Transition. The lightest part up here. Try to. Like I said, don't stress about it. You can push and pull it, and you can keep working on it as you go. So we keep that complexion right at about a 3. You know, you can push it a little more if you want to. That's okay. Lightly glaze that real quick. We'll be correcting some things here. Some of my articulation I will work on later when I have more time, but I just want to get you guys set up here. Okay, let's just take, let's try to take one area right now, and I'll show you kind of how I would begin to kind of work that area. So now that we have the complexion, right, in the shadow here, right, in your values, you're going to push this core shadow a little bit more, right? I'm not going to push it too much right now, just a little bit. A little bit like that. Because just think of this as, you know, if you ever do a spear study or something like that, that's kind of what I'm doing here. But I'm trying to lay the graphite down carefully. This would be the same thought process if it was charcoal, right? I would just be massing stuff in. But I'm just using the graphite because it's a little bit simpler, and anybody can get a graphite pencil. So that's what we want to do. We want to try to give you guys options and easy ways that you can work on this stuff. So just keep hatching. And remember, I'm just going to bite off one little area here to show you guys, and then you can do the rest for the homework, and that should be good. Okay. In here. Now, I think the lightest point, I'm going to go ahead and pull out. Probably going to be like a 1 right there. 1 on the value scale. Now you can use that brush, and you can keep brushing it in, and you can kind of round his frontal eminence here. You can round it off like that. You can get it nice and smooth, and then you can hatch on top of that, right? Which is kind of fun. I just dust right over the top of it. Take my little eraser here, and I'm just going to pull out a couple of lights in here, and this is kind of how we would sculpt in here. Got the superciliary arches here. It's real quick now. Just pull out the lights, okay? Got a light here. And I see a light there. And a light there. Okay. So that's basically how you want to do it. And then you can come back and you can push these shadows if you need to more. Right? You can push that core. Kind of like that. You just transition it out. Don't have to worry about what's happening in the shadows so much. Just worry about that bed bug line, right? Coming around here. Transitioning into the light. Okay. And then you can take that brush and soften it. Like I said, you can use your fingers, you can use the brush. As long as you get a nice transition in there. Alright. Got the old egghead going. And sometimes I will kind of hatch like this, certain areas when I'm drawing. I can hatch it in. Like I said, we're going real quick here. We're got limited time, but we'll at least try to get one section kind of going here for you guys, just to give you an idea of the shapes. And then I hatch over the smooth. I hatch like that. Over here is the glabella. Hatch there real quick. And let's see a light shape in here. Pull that out. Alright, looks pretty good. And sometimes I'll glaze right over the top of that. And then you can pull out the light again. Boom, wherever the one is. Something like that, okay? And then we'll articulate the outside and worry about that stuff later, okay? But that's going to be the next step, so we can kind of start modeling down, and that's kind of the planar stage of the drawing, okay? And then we will get to the modeling after that. All right, you guys, if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.